we hope you had a tremendous week, and we're happy to welcome you back to your very own side quest. Now, this week, I think we should do a Return to the Yappin'. What do you guys think?
Yappuccino!
Sure. Yeah, we love to do, of course. With some questions sprinkled in as per quota. I can't let the Mage Tribunal down. You know, they've been really getting on me recently. So I can't really, I can't hide. Now, this week
They're pulling me into hell! They're pulling me into hell!
Okay, we gotta ask some questions. First of all, who are you?
I'm Evan!
And we also got...
Halia.
And, of course, it's me, Ryan. Now, this week we're really gonna talk about whatever comes to mind. And I have a hypothetical for you two.
Whatever?
We're talking about whatever. We can fly if we want to. We can dance if we want to.
We can leave your friends behind.
We did, and that's why three's a crowd. Now, I
They left us!
have a hypothetical for you guys. Okay. Now, if you were given an infinite amount of money, okay, and you were told to direct a fantasy or sci-fi film, it could be from any IP, so any kind of like, it could be like another Lord of the Rings movie if you really wanted it to be. Like, it could be from anything.
Okay.
What would you make? What would you make with that?
A film? Like, does it have to be film or?
It could be film. It could be like a game if you really wanted it to be. I was just saying movie or TV, something like that.
All right. I have to think about this.
Yeah, especially with the recent. Oh, I was just gonna say.
Sorry.
With the recent success of the Fallout TV show, which I watched, it was very good, very graphic, and I think it stayed very true to the source material. I was thinking this could be an interesting question because there's a lot of other IPs that deserve love. Halo! Oh God, I'm sorry. Something
There
came
is a
over
Halo
me.
show.
Yeah, but it's
It sucks.
it sucks.
Apparently, it's not
true to the source material.
canon.
It should not be canon. Now, with a lot of stuff like that, I feel like there's so many IPs that you could do a lot with that I'm interested to hear. So, you have an answer?
My first idea was to do a short film for The Princess and the Trash Bag, or whatever the fuck it's called. Paper Bag Princess. Is that be stupid? You don't know what that book is?
No.
Editor,
I've never heard of
put
it.
that shit up. What is wrong with you? Guys,
A lot of
put it up,
things.
please. Someone put it up. Just in front of my face, please. Just,
Could you put a quick synopsis in there?
It's me or editor?
Editor,
You.
make sure that you have the scroll or the.
I don't really remember
words,
what went on,
like Star Wars.
but I'm pretty sure it was like a princess who was like kidnapped by a dragon or just like put away somewhere, and she ended up wearing this like paper bag, and she met a dragon.
Whoa! The editor just cut a bit out, and I felt it.
Oh my God.
Well, Evan, have you thought of an answer then?
Yes. So recently, this past year, there was an announcement that Jet Set Radio, one of my favorite games of all time, is being remade. I would put money towards making a sequel to Jet Set Radio Future, but not be a retelling of the original game. So like more story, bigger city to explore, and I don't think it would be necessarily like mission by mission. It would be open world that would have different smaller missions throughout it that you complete until you've completely taken over the city with your graffiti.
All right.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
That is based, as the kids say. Now, if I had to pick something to make a movie out of, now this is a great question. Thank you for asking it, Ryan. There's so many great things that you can make movies out of. Like, I could literally just say like one of our D&D games, like Home's End. Think about that. Home's End is a fucking.
That's true.
I'd say Home's End. That shit's cinematic.
I think that would be a TV show.
I think it'd be a great TV show. It could be honestly a great like movie.
Like trilogy or like franchise?
Quadrilogy. I'd fucking
Quadrilogy.
Franchise. 9 movies. Let's go.
Going
yeah.
9 rounds.
TV show with a very high budget, so the editing and just like our show has great editing, and great effects and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. Practical effects for the monsters. Come on now. That'd be awesome. So
It
definitely,
would be pretty.
I would say
Pretty based.
I'd say Home's End. There's a lot you could do with that, especially if you do a TV show. Especially with just how the Descent to Home's End has turned out. It's been an incredible watch. So, having a TV adaptation to further retell that, or even a game.
I think a TV show would be better.
The reason why I say game is because of the little special thing, but we don't talk about that yet. No, we'll get to it eventually. Well, I definitely think these are some pretty good answers to that. The Princess in the Paper Bag.
Literally, you and
timeless
Evan
classic.
gave actual ansers.
So classic, I haven't even heard of it.
A timeless classic. It's so timeless.
You guys
that
are
it's beyond
crazy.
my time.
Wanna know why?
and-
Because you guys spent your childhood on the computer. I spent mine in the
I'll
library.
actually have you know, I didn't start
Outside.
playing on the computer until I was about 15. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I actually spent my childhood outside. And then Jet Set Radio, another thing that I've never heard of. It's a timeless classic! Whoa! So, and we've all heard of Home's End because we played it! It's,
Oh
What's
my
Home's
god!
It's a timeless treasure!
Oh.
Whoa!
Ooh, and Aura Livingstone.
Now, I want to further this question. Who do you want to cast in this? Like, who would be the lead cast for you?
Oh, fuck if I know.
Damn.
I'm
Okay.
saying J. Jonah Jameson for Home's End. Plop him right in with Kepler. Think about it.
Ooh.
Think
Or
about
why
it.
not
Who's
have
that?
him as Kepler?
Huh?
Just saying.
Who's J?
Not J.
Jonah?
Jonah
Ketherick
Jameson.
Thorne.
J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, Ketherick Thorne. I knew who you were talking about.
I'm sorry.
Same
I'm a big
person,
fan-
pretty
I'm a
much.
big fan of J.K. Simmons. I get him mixed up with his roles all the time.
you have to put him in
Yeah, like
the fucking
that
Burning
Ketherick
News.
Thorne guy. Like,
No, dude. No, I'm telling
No.
you. No, I'm telling you. Kepler
That's
fits
literally
Kepler.
his whole
Give him
thing.
Give him a mean mustache. Give him a mean mustache. Give him a salt and pepper.
You want
wig.
him to be Kepler?
you're dragging.
Are you rushing?
No.
Or are you dragging?
Are you dragging?
Yeah, my fucking time. I'm saying.
Edit me throwing a chair across the room.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm saying J.K. Simmons, dude. I'm saying J.K. Simmons. What about you two? What are you putting in your movies?
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily for my game.
Elite
Slash
voice
movie.
actor, something like that. Who do you cast?
Although for Home's End, I could see Matt Mercer being Jose.
That's
Pedro
I could
Pascal?
see it.
Pedro Pascal.
it's but it's
that's a good one.
Oscar Isaacs.
No,
That
not as
too,
Walter.
that too.
Not as Walter. I could see him being
As
a mean-
Walter?
Not Walter.
No
not
one's
Walter.
saying Walter.
Jose?
Jose.
I don't think I see an Oscar Isaac says no Jose.
Crazy.
Who would we have play Walter?
Finn Wolfhard.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Timothy Chalamet.
I know he doesn't match the actual description, but he's. I'd boycott that movie. No.
Uh-oh.
No.
Hallia's lagging the fuck out.
The Mage Tribunal's attacking again!
What the fuck?
Play
You know why
creepy music
cast-
behind
you know why
that.
cast as Walter? Noah.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a
Yeah. That's funny. And
Ooh,
Alyssa
but
has
who
to
would we
be
have
Lauren.
as?
No one else. No one else could play Lauren.
No one else.
It's your self-interest.
Now,
Yeah.
now who would we have play as Arthur?
Arthur, Arthur shocked me when I first saw what he looked like. Because I was
You weren't
picturing
picturing him that way.
No, I was picturing like Walter, but like shorter hair. So I was like, oh, okay.
I was picturing like a human version of Arthur the Aardvark.
Oh, whoa.
Just the-
Who played
Just the
Oh no. Who played the like is it the 11th Doctor? Edited the picture. There's a picture of them. They're beautiful.
The 15th Doctor?
Sure, maybe, I don't know. They're like bald, I think, or they have a buzz cut.
I can see them, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
cannot
see the
pronounce,
image.
out of respect, I'm not going to try to pronounce their name.
But they're there and they're great. They're in Sex Education.
Okay.
I think they play someone named
I can see
Eric.
that.
I think
I can
that's
see that.
Yeah, Eric. They're great. I love them. Them, I think, would be a good Arthur.
Okay.
I don't know who it is, but let's go with it.
Well,
I'll send you a picture after, Evan.
All right.
to not turn this into a Descent into Holmes End episode, let's move on to something
It's
else.
relating to the question, though.
I know. And we all gave our answer to it. I'd be interested to hear from Melissa. No, too bad they're not here.
Womp womp.
They're off doing their own thing. They're doing their own thing.
Who played Briar?
I don't know.
Ryan.
Oh,
Nope.
okay.
Oh.
You looked at me? Have you looked at me? I can't play no Briar.
Have you looked at me? I can't play no Vincent
I got chubby cheeks.
or
dude.
Andre.
I got chubby cheeks. I don't fit into that role.
So?
I don't fit in that life.
What do you mean?
Ow,
You
that
have a
hurt.
70 appearance.
Dude,
Actually, your appearance is more up, but
don't skip ahead. Don't skip ahead, or this is what you'll see.
Why do you look like one of the fucking characters from Spy Kids when you do that?
Don't skip ahead.
no, don't do him like that.
Anybody who just
Edit-
skipped ahead is so cooked. Is so cooked.
Editor,
so
put
mean.
in the character with the wide mouth on
No,
Ryan's
Mr.
face.
Flo-
I think the editor's already probably beat to it. To be
No.
honest.
Oh, probably.
It's one of the like thingies from
Yeah.
Spy Kids 1.
It's a really fucked up face, dude.
That's bullying. That's cyberbullying, Evan. You're a
It's funny because I'd
cyberbully.
say it to his face anyways.
Well, you're looking at my
Mean.
face.
Who says I'm looking at your camera?
Anyways, not talking too much dead air for the listeners there at home. I'm curious about something. You guys see the new? We've talked about it not on the podcast, but we talked about it in person before. The new kind of pseudo edition of Dungeons and Dragons that's coming out, where they're changing a bunch of rules and a bunch of the player's handbook subclasses.
Like
and
One D&D or
whatnot.
whatever.
Yeah, One D&D. What do you guys think of that?
I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest, because I've grown so accustomed to fifth edition that I don't know if I'm ready for the amount of changes they're doing with One D&D.
What is it even changing?
It's just changing up how a bunch of like subclasses work, and also some rulings like dual wielding. I'm not sure if they're implementing the you make an attack, you make a second one with your offhand weapon.
Which I figured that's what you would do with that, though.
Well, yeah, they're just changing the rule from a bonus action to a part of your attacking action.
I would hope they do that because that makes sense to me.
I think it's a little bit weird because they're doing it because the newest stuff that they're releasing, like Tosh's and whatnot, is super strong, way stronger than the stuff in the player's handbook. Just based on how I see it. Why play a fucking? Well, actually, I can't say anything to do with barbarian because bear totem exists. Why pick anything else on barbarians? Am I right? No. Stuff like Twilight Domain Cleric exist. Like that's just it's so good. It's so good. Why would you want to pick anything else?
Because
So
Evans
true.
keep dying.
Evans
So
keep
he
dying.
wants to
That's
keep
why
playing
you
them.
want to. Yeah, you see, he's keeping the market alive. But also the spells like conjure aberration, conjure blah blah blah. those spells are just they're extremely powerful because
I don't like those.
conjure lesser demons was the thing with that is like you have to either have like a circle of blood or you have to maintain concentration or know their name so they don't attack you. But with conjure, like there's no, especially with like elementals as well, they have that similar drawback where it could just go crazy and start fucking attacking you. And that's where like conjure aberrations and whatnot has that. There's no drawback for it, and you don't even like they do their own thing. They're pretty strong, I'd say, and it adds an extra player to the battlefield that isn't a possible obstacle, which I think was the. I get like some people like Summers, like Jonas. Jonas is a big fan of Summers. Michael, I know you're there. You like summoning stuff, and I can see why conjuring like an aberration that isn't going to eat your face is alluring, but I think there is something to do with the charm of like. I gotta prep. I gotta draw the circle of my blood, and maybe you gotta get everyone else's blood to mix together and put it in so they can't attack anyone else in the party either. And just having that kind of like prep.
Blood
and
magic.
Having spells like that in Tasha's, and the books that come after that as well, it kind of forces you to update the outdated things, like in the player's handbook, which I think is a little. I think it's weird that it came to that point, but I do like some of the changes that they are making and some of the subclasses that they're adding.
I mean, for your for your upcoming campaign, I'm playing a beast barbarian, which I think is in the player's handbook.
Nope.
Could be wrong.
Has some Tasha's.
What's it in?
Pretty sure it's in
Is that Tasha's?
Pretty sure
Want me to
it's
look it up?
I got it.
Sure, that doesn't sound right because I thought that was there way before Tasha's, like on Wikidot.
Yeah, it was Tasha's Culture Anything or Everything. It was Unearthed Arcana, and Unearthed Arcana is where they release all the playtest material. People play it and say this is what could be changed, and then they put it into a book.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying. Obviously, I'm not saying why. Like literally, why would you play anything else? I'm saying like if you're playing a min-max character. You're not going to pick something like Beast Barbarian when like Bear Totem Barbarian exists.
Min-max?
Very true.
If you're playing something to just play a strong character, you're going to pick something that is just advertly stronger than everything else. Of course, like we don't play it like that. And if you have a like we mentioned this a little while ago. If you have a story for a character and it doesn't fit that subclass, of course you're not going to pick it. But in terms of power scaling, like if one party member is like, let's say an Echo Knight, and then you're like a Berserker Barbarian. Berserker Barbarians are pretty ass.
Are they?
Really, all you get is the ability to make one extra attack as a bonus action, and then you get a point of exhaustion afterwards, after your rage ends. And I think later on you get some like resistance to charms and whatnot, which is pretty good, but. You see, like, the difference of the power scaling where Echo Knights get flank wherever they go. They get to make an extra attack pretty much for free, like 4 times a day, depending on their con modifier. They can, like, swap places with their Echo and teleport. They have a bunch of utility.
That's later.
No, you can swap spaces with it for 15 movement.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's why, sorry.
No, you continue.
Oh, that's why my character, when I finally got the Echo, when we did Icewind Dale, that's why he was automatically able to switch places.
Yeah.
It was at the cost of movement.
And then I think later on there's the Avatar, Echo Avatar, or Umbral Avatar, I think is what it's called, where you can just... it's kind of like a Find Familiar where you go into its visions and you can go 1,000 feet away. You have all this stuff, and then you can look at like something like the Berserker Barbarian. You get to make an extra attack as a bonus action. And after the minute's over, you have a point of exhaustion. Which I get, some people might not run exhaustion. But really, it's like, it's such a... it's so outdated compared to all the new stuff. You know?
Well, yeah, but I think that's kind of the charm of it, though. Because, like, if you run something and you're like, oh, I don't want to be that strong, but I have an idea for that character... to be a Berserker Barbarian, that's going to be fun for you because you want to choose that one.
Mm-hmm.
and you have a character
Well, yeah,
idea.
I'm just.
Because, like, that's why I chose Beast, because my character involves stuff like that. So I was
I'm
like,
not
that
saying
makes
it's
sense.
a bad thing. I'm just saying that, like, the why they're doing it, it got to a point where there's such a discrepancy in how the classes are balanced. Because, of course, we play it first and foremost as a role-playing game, but there's also the other aspects of, like, people genuinely play this game for the like, just the combat of it, right?
Combat?
So when you have this huge power discrepancy, you have to fix it. It's, you know, why games have patches for weapons and whatnot if it involves combat.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, especially for, like, I think it's, I really like Twilight Domain Cleric, and I know Evan does too. And that itself has a lot of, like, utility.
What are you about to say, buddy?
I was saying it has a lot of utility to it. And then you can look back to, like, I forgot what I was going to say. What I'm saying is Twilight Domain Cleric is also really good, but then you look at some of the other cleric domains and they're kind of lackluster. So I think 1D&D is both a blessing and also a, like, where is the game going? You know.
Now in the most recent update that I actually have pulled up here, apparently for Divine Intervention they're overhauling that to where it's going to happen a bit more often. Like the actual blurb here from dicebreaker.com says there's now been an overhaul to Divine Intervention, a 5e ability that gives you a small chance of rolling for high-powered divine aid. Players appear to have asked for some reliable results, or for more reliable results, and 1D&D designers have responded by allowing Divine Intervention to automatically succeed at casting spells that are 5th level or below, while a higher level Greater Divine Intervention functions as a wish spell, casting any spell of any level. The change makes sense, though it also removes some of the drama of rolling to see if your god will intervene. Unsure on this one.
I mean, if no one likes this stuff, we could just not use it.
No, but it's an interesting change. I think that's actually a genuinely interesting change where most of the time I feel like if you're using Divine Intervention, it's probably to revive somebody, and having that, like, 5th level or lower, you don't need to roll the revival. God will intervene and answer your pleas.
I genuinely think that making it more reliable is a bit of a stretch. Like,
I don't like it.
I say it's got more impact if it's the heat of the moment. You're the last one standing. All your comrades are either about to fall over or are already dead. Just the amount of intensity in the moment when you roll the percentile dice to see if you get that 10% chance of your god answering, it adds so much more to the experience.
It's a more valuable moment.
Exactly. And the fact that it's such a small chance, yet when it happens, everybody's
you
like...
feel like God's favorite princess.
In your instance, Grandpa's favorite princess.
Yeah. I think that it comes with its blessings and curses, right? Like it is a more dramatic thing, and I like the lower percentage chance of it working, having a larger effect. You know, where having that as a more, which I think is kind of where the above 5th level goes. It's like a wish spell. Wish spells. Rules written, I don't think they can actually do anything. But if you're DMing, you could. If someone's like, we need help, you could. If they want to roll that and take the chance, then you could just be like, yeah, you can. You're good.
In my personal opinion, I feel like it. No matter what, Divine Intervention should not automatically succeed on any counts. I feel like
it's like that's just stupid.
Exactly. Like, if they wanted it to be, like they're saying here, implementing it that, like how they're saying automatically succeeding on any spells 5th level or below, why not make it just a higher percentage of rolling for said thing to happen? Like, say, you ask for help, and depending on whether or not, say, it's a 25% chance that your god hears you in the first place. 25% chance. that would probably equal to about 5th level or below to help you out. Now, 10% would be something on like mass resurrection or like some form of an almighty attack. I feel like that would be insane.
See, the thing with that is the strongest 5th level spell that you could do. Let's say you were doing you wanted to do something like you wanted to revive somebody. The highest level thing you can do that for that is like raise dead. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the strongest attack that you could do with it would be something like flame strike. So realistically, having that, and I'm assuming that they're going to also keep the 7-day cooldown for it as well. Having an automatic success once every 7 days on something like Raise Dead or Flame Strike really doesn't seem like that big of a deal for me. Because it's not, in all accounts, that's not what you're using Divine Intervention for anyways, right? Like, you're not going to just be like, man, I just want to revive this one person. So having that, like, you know, if it is a post-combat thing, you don't have the diamonds for it, having an automatic success on like a Raise Dead, so whatever. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I just like the drama of it.
Yeah, having a drama for that higher level Shiat is based.
Because like we're playing Out of the Abyss, in the Abyss, whatever.
Out of the Abyss.
We're currently in the Abyss at the moment. And,
no, you're not. You're in the Underdark. You're not even close to the Abyss.
Oh, okay. The Underdark. And I play a cleric, and I've tried to get in contact with my god, and it hasn't worked. It just worked, but I'm at like 6th level, so it was a while. And sure, it sucked, but when it actually happened, it was like, finally, let's go. I've been chosen for his ears. So like, it just felt cooler.
Cooler mentioned. I'll say this. In D&D, and specifically fantasy media, okay, you hear about these gods who are all powerful. They have all this power, and they can do whatever they want. But they can't.
Uh-huh.
They have to get these people to go do everything they need for them. So having that automatic success, it demonstrates, it's not even just a cleric change. It is a god's lore change, where they can actually interact more reliably. They have all this power, why can't they just cast like a Revivify for you, right? So having that as an automatic success, I think is actually, as I'm sitting here thinking about it and letting it ruminate, I had this conversation with our friend Brendan. If you're watching, hello. Remember when we were out for a drive, we were talking about how gods are kind of, in fantasy media, lackluster. You have a god like, let's say Mistra, okay? Mistra is this all-powerful magical deity. She can do anything with magic. Are you telling me that she could not cast like a Raise Dead for you at will, right?
I mean, she can't defeat it. So,
editor silencer in case there's a Baldur's Gate listener. What I'm saying is like,
okay,
just that part of what you said. What I'm saying is like, if these gods are all powerful beings, yet they can't interact. But you're telling me that they can't like just cast like a Raise Dead for you, a Revivify?
I feel like it comes more from the power of your belief in that god, because depending on, like, say we're in a story already, and your character's been waning off the path of your god, saying like questioning their actual power or anything like that. Story reasons, you could just be like, no, your god doesn't reach out to you or doesn't come forth because of your lack of belief in them or your dedication. They only really are supporting those who are true believers in them and their cause and their moralities and views on life. It all kind of
also like
continue. I was just rambling.
You were continuing.
I was rambling. Just go on.
Okay. But Ryan and I started watching The Blood of Zeus, and like one of the characters mentions this because someone else asked, why can't the gods come and help? And the old man was like, well, because it was something along the lines of like, if the gods came down and helped, then we would just be weak, and there would be no reason for us to inherit the earth. And it's like, yeah, because like gods created humans to inherit the earth, so they would want their creation to build them up themselves and become these powerful beings, which we unfortunately have done without the help of God. Or gods, whatever.
It's true in that sense, but you got to think like you already reached level 10. You're really strong already.
Mm-hmm.
What casting a raised dead for them? It's not, if you're going off the rationale of, like, they need you to be strong. That doesn't make you any weaker. And it demonstrates, and for the thing with Evan, I think that is more like a role playing thing. Like if your character's doing that, you toss in like the, well, I'm not really going to help you. But even still, if a character is like questioning their strength and whatnot, you'd think the god would be like, yeah, you're going to question me, little bitch? BAM! Raise dead on your companion. Who's strong now, motherfucker? I just did that for free!
I feel that it should be more along the morality scale there. So, like, if the god's neutral evil, they might just fucking toss you aside and fucking just smite your ass.
Yeah, if you're evil...
Yeah, that's how you get smited.
Yeah, if it's an evil god and you're like, man, this god ain't shit. Flame strike!
Or the ground just eats you.
A meteor swarm.
You get fucking torn down to the underworld.
But let's say like you're a worshiper.
Bye, bitch.
You're a devout worshiper.
Fuck
Or
you.
you pray. You heal people that need it. You offer up second chances. And when one of your companions is dead, and you pray to your god, you're like, please, all powerful Athander, revive my companion. He's like, well, roll a percentile dice. Like what? Like you're telling me that he's not like, okay, my devout follower, I will cast this Vivify for you.
No, because there's too many in the world.
But
that's the point of it, I think.
You've reached level 10, you are beyond 80% of the other worshippers. And you're on a quest.
That doesn't matter.
You're beyond the other 99% of people that are left. There's not like a million world-ending quests going on in any given campaign most of the time. So, Lathander looking down on these people who are like saving the world, of course he can't intervene and just like stop it for you. But he can... sprinkle a little revivify, sprinkle a little flame strike, you know? Like, these things, they don't impede your progress, they don't make you weaker, and if
Lathander's cooking up some shit.
And let's say you aren't the most devout, or you are the most devout, it's a reason to either reaffirm your faith, or just affirm your faith in general. Having that below level 5 succeed automatically, and then have that 7-day cooldown, of course, I don't think it's actually that big of a deal. I think it's actually a good thing. It demonstrates the god's power. And also, when you're like, I'm going to use my action to do this, nothing happens, and then next turn, BAM! The BBG smashes you with their big potato masher, right? Like,
well, then you die.
That's what I'm saying, is having that automatic, like, oh, I need to raise dead on the wizard so he can fucking make a wall of force, and then we can escape. Like, having the lower than level 5 spells be an automatic success ain't too bad.
But then
I just don't like it. Because, like, well, that kind of, like, just is like, you're being followed by your god. And, like, sure, you are. But, like, they're not just watching you. They have tens of millions of other followers.
Yes, but...
and other things to do, I'm sure. I'm sure just, like, Lathander is not just sitting there. Like, does anyone need help? Can I help you?
Well, no, but you gotta think, if you've reached level 10, and not only are you level 10, but you're probably going on some kind of quest to save something really important, or maybe, because like no way that you're gonna need to fucking use divine intervention in your downtime, right? If you do that, yeah, you deserve to waste all days.
Don't be mean.
Time at ass. But no, you're probably doing something really important. So, having a god watch you on an important quest when you're beyond every other follower, pretty much, like, I doubt there's fucking in the Forgotten Realms, I doubt there's 15 clerics of Lathander above level 10. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it.
With the, like, important quest thing, like, that quest is important to the world. That's not very important to the god. That's just like this would
would it-
suck, I guess.
Would it not be
With the
for the god if all their worshippers and followers are there?
Yeah, sure, they
'Cause
die.
you also got to understand that the gods were there first. It's not only
Yes.
our home as mortals.
So they
it's
could
their
just
home.
recreate another world.
But without followers, they're powerless. So they need to worry about it.
I guess, but I don't know. I don't personally like that idea. So if we were to use that and like going on, I don't think I'd play anything with a god that had the divine intervention stuff, because I don't want that automatic help. I want it to be earned. I don't want it to be given.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. Is you've earned it 10 levels. You spent 10 levels worshiping your god. Being devout to your god. You've earned it.
But
That
then,
does take a while, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta think. Level 10, you've probably been playing that campaign for at least a year.
yeah, and a year of crap happened, sure, for like playing, but like just when you get to that level 10, like when you see level 10, like as a player, you'd be like, oh, I could just ask for help and get it. No, I don't want that. I wanna play and then see if I get it, and if I don't, there could be some roleplay aspect to it.
The thing is,
I'm sorry. You just made it sound like clerics are just trust fund babies.
Hey, your words, not mine.
oh my god.
I didn't say it.
I'm putting that in
Like,
quotes.
oh my god, I get the 10 milli. Ooh. No.
Well, the thing is, you're thinking like it's like a
No.
mass resurrection. No, the most they can do for you is bring someone back from the dead.
Yeah. Do you know how like fun that is when that doesn't happen? It's fun to play that personally.
But you're it's not that it's not like they're literally casting a wish. You're just casting like revivify.
Yeah, but
And at
still.
level 10, you're gonna have a revivify anyways. So
No, okay, exactly. So just fucking find diamonds. If you don't find diamonds, then you don't get the revivify. It's more fun for the roleplay aspect personally. I think so.
and that's why
Then
as I guess a DM you could like you could have them be like you need to not a percentile but roll like a d20 to reach out to your god and because if you're a cleric, if you're playing a cleric, you better be praying on your free time.
Did you pray
Yeah,
today?
literally, did you pray today? Did you pray today? Like,
What are you doing,
He's smacking his desk.
brother?
you should be praying because when you get to that level, if you haven't been praying, why is your god sticking around? Get out of here,
Because he
non-worshipper.
loves me.
Unworthy swine.
No, like, and also if you're playing a cleric of like a good aligned deity, you've probably been doing some good things along the way. Beggars, giving them money.
Or you could just be one of the evil clerics and just be like,
And you've been real evil, then of course your daddy is gonna go, oh, sprinkle a little flame strike for you for free. Toss that
Or
in
mummy.
there. Or mommy.
Or
That
neither.
true.
But
Just one last thing I want to say about like the whole divine intervention thing. Just because I'm biased with running and playing in story-driven, role-playing D&D sessions, I just feel divine intervention shouldn't just be automatically succeeding for 5th level spells or below. I feel like there should be some stakes into rolling. Maybe depending on, like I was saying earlier, how you've been acting and stuff like that, it should pretty much be a list of requirements that you have that should maybe allow you to use it. And if you don't fully qualify under those requirements, you shouldn't be able to cast it.
here's an idea. What if every time you do something that is with your god's moral code, so let's say like you're a good aligned cleric, you like, you know, you give some coins to a beggar. It's plus 1%. You pray every day.
The
plus
approval
1%.
rating of your
Every
god,
day that you
Lathander
pray.
approves.
Yeah. And, no, but that's the thing. No, but that's that's the thing.
Lathander will remember that.
And then it gets to the point. It gets to the point where it could be up to like 75%. You've got 75%, and you're like, I need you to revive this party member. You have to get like a 75% chance, and if you succeed, it goes back down to 0. And it could
would be cool.
And it could get up to 100. That's why you'd work it out with your DM. But like, it could get up to just an automatic success because you've been devout. You've showed that you've earned it. You know, you've earned these things.
But the same thing should also be done if you're doing the opposite of what your god wants.
Yeah.
So you would take away. You could actually possibly go into negatives.
And oath break.
Man, this fucking Lathander cleric stole this homeless guy's money. -5%. -1.
Minus the amount of money they stole.
-300%. What the hell? Can you imagine?
No, but like it would make more sense like over the story that it would build up and then right as you need it, it's there.
Yeah.
You have enough points. Although there's still that chance that it might not work. Everything comes down to that roll.
Or if you've been an Omega Good Boy, you just get a 100% chance.
I don't know.
And if you're doing above a 5th level spell, it could be just halved. So let's say you had 100%.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what they're saying here is, like obviously 5th level or below is automatic, but if it's higher than 5th level, so 6th to 9th level, it's the equivalent to a wish spell, which you still have to roll that 10% for.
Yeah. So having it be like, the more good things, or if you're evil, bad things you do, can assist your divine intervention, I think it's a good story to beat.
I don't know. I just think it's personally, I think it's better for the role-playing aspects and for character development aspects. Because like if you for the example Evan gave, if you're the final one alive and all your party members are dead and you call upon your god and they don't answer you, there could be so many things you could do with that. Like if you're like a paladin? They have the oath, right?
They don't have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just specifically for cleric. Okay.
It's just a cleric thing.
Well then you're like you could cast away your god. Like you could be like, they didn't answer me my deepest time of need. They're nothing.
That would be a huge story change. Like
exactly.
As soon as that happens, you're just like, the BBEG realizes that you have completely lost faith in your god,
and
then
they could go and swoop in and be like, "I can help you."
But that's
big
the thing,
brain.
That's why I think I like the percentage thing. The more things you do for your god, and on story beat, the more likely it is to succeed. In that moment, if it failed, that'd be on you. You fucked up. You know, like
no.
But that's the thing is if you only did like 10
like that,
up to level 10. Well, yeah, because you don't like you got to live with the consequences of your actions. If you don't pray, you don't show you're like devout to your god. Of course, they're not going to answer to you.
Either way, both of what you guys are saying would be perfect for story aspects, because yeah. You've done so many good things, and you've racked up all of these percentage points that you can add on to this divine intervention roll, but you still fail. You can make it so that your character just goes clinically insane.
Yeah, they go evil, and they're like, I've done everything for you, and you don't come to me with this one moment.
But on top of that,
you've sinned against me.
But on top of that, if it fails and everything goes wrong and everybody's dead, you could have a cool story moment being like, your god witnesses this as he was too late to intervene, but then, some crazy shit happens, and instead of ascending to the heavens, he realizes your job's not done. He sends you back down to finish what you started, and you're now a completely different race. You're more powerful. Like, you have to finish this job or else shit's going to hit the fan. There's so many different story things you could do with that mindset.
Just like ever since... Sorry. Just ever since... Spoilers. Just ever since Baldur's Gate, with the whole Shadowheart and Shar and Blackith and Lae'zel, That shit is so cool. Like, you, like, tossing away your shit with your god because they, as Lae'zel says, they've sinned against you. They've done everything for their god. And they've been lied to, they've been tricked, they've been manipulated. That is such a good story moment. Oh my god. I live for the storytelling of D&D.
Yeah,
So.
but I think that's where this can also, you guys are looking at it as just a negative. It could also be a positive storytelling element, you know? Having that automatic success for like a Raised Dead, and maybe the party's finally like, dude, actually your god's kind of based. Your god's awesome.
But that's like, that's just gonna
You're
happen
looking at it
then.
as like, but you're looking
I'm trying.
know.
In my defense, I am trying to like weigh both options here, like it being a positive and it being a negative.
It's just like having that as like a story. It could be a story element where you're like, finally, like it's paid off. Being a good person and worshiping this god is finally, I've been given back to, you know.
I don't know.
Anyways, we've been talking about this for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. Cleric tangent. We're done. It's fine. We'll leave your answers in the comments
Yeah,
below.
what do you guys think?
We'd like to know.
Losing my religion.
What do you guys think about the...
It's instead of REM, it's CEM. Cleric. I don't even know what REM stands for.
I don't know either. REM sleep.
REM sleep. How about you guys know the race change that they implemented where it doesn't matter what race you are. It's +2 to any stat, +1 to another stat.
I love
Yes.
that. I love that. Sorry.
It does give a lot more race customization.
Yeah,
in my
diversity.
opinion.
Because, like, why are, like, all half orcs strong? What if
That's just
what
their
if you want,
lineage.
huh?
That's their lineage.
Okay, well,
Orcs
what
are
if they
strong.
take after their weak ass other parent and not the orc part?
Well, then that +2 is wasted.
No, it's just better.
Hallie and I just both went like, huh?
It'd be like, imagine this then. Take this.
Uh-huh.
A Great Dane had a kid with a Chihuahua somehow. Okay.
Okay.
The dog
I don't want to think
is
about
gonna
that,
get
man.
that, like, +2 to, like, strength, because it's a Great Dane. But it ends up being really small. It doesn't mean that it isn't stronger than... It's stronger than normal Chihuahua, because it's fucking half Great Dane.
It's a
But
small chihuahua.
But it's still small. It's smaller than a Great Dane, bigger than a Chihuahua. That +2 strength, +1 con. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is in a fantasy world as well. You know? Orcs are strong. You mix them with a human who is good at everything, and they come out. The half orc comes out strong.
Well,
Now-
that's not how people work.
But we live in a world that are all humans. I don't think
Okay,
we've ever
exactly.
seen an
We
orc walk
don't
around.
know how half orcs work, so we can't even like do that. What we can use is what we know, and that's us. So like,
Yes, and
Wait, we're things?
if you think about it this way, then
yes, Evan.
there's a really strong man, because everyone in that lineage has been strong because their muscles are more dense or some shit like that. Okay.
Sure.
And they marry a really weak person. Okay.
Yeah, weak, stinky.
Ugh,
Ew.
weak. It's gonna equal out. Okay.
Take
I
a
don't know.
shower.
It's not
You
like
stink.
they're gonna miraculously be like, oh, they're super nimble, or like.
Well,
they're-
maybe
it's-
they can take after their other parent. Half orc people make half orcs specifically to look like orcs, just like more maybe human-esque, but green, tusk, strong. No.
Something I would kind of correlate the +2 and the +1 into is kind of like with Dark Souls, how like if say you're going for a strength build, you kind of want to make your character, in my opinion, make them look buff, so that way you kind of convey what you're trying to go for. But if you're going magic, you kind of think, well, no reason for them to look big and bulky with a big hammer, although it would look very funny.
Yeah.
You usually see smaller, frail, but more agile individuals. So with that being open to whatever you want, you can use that aspect to shape your character with the points that you are designating into the other attributes. Like Constitution, maybe it's not that they're bulky, but they've got more meat on them. If they're stronger, they're more muscular.
And
dexterous, they're more agile, they're nimble. Intelligent, they've just got big noggins.
And that could also be a role play aspect of like character story. Like you came out looking more like your, but like you could come out like looking different than your orc parent, and then being like, "Ew, I don't want that. Like you're not gonna work in this society. Get the fuck out of here." And then you're like shunned from your, I don't know what they have, tribes, nomad societies,
clans,
I don't know, clans. Whatever.
So
Like you're shunned from that part of your life, so you never know it, and you're raised by your human elf parent, whatever.
do you guys know the meme, like the Yeet meme, where it's Rafiki throwing Simba off Pride Rock?
Yes,
That's
but I
just
just
what I imagined.
I love story in D&D, and that works well with it. Because like if you're just a half orc, you get strength and con or something. I don't actually know. I've never played a half orc.
Yeah.
And if you want to play a wizard, you're gonna be a wizard that's strong. That's useless.
You don't need to be strong.
No.
It's
Okay,
just,
but
you're
if you
stronger than
roll
would
like,
be.
yeah, you don't need that. That's a waste
You
of your
don't
plus
need
2 and
it,
plus
but that's
1.
great for story. That is great for story.
Another thing, say
Why?
like you're saying, half orc, they're a wizard. They end up getting shunted out of their clan, but a wizard is roaming the wastes trying to find forgotten books on different cultures or magic spells that have been lost to time, and they stumble across this character. Well, now that half orc gets brought into wherever they're living, raised by whatever race they are, and then they might be a bit bulkier, but they're not the same as what family they were coming from.
I guess, but it just, to me, it seems like a waste of a plus 2.
It is, but
Just put in strength.
But that's
the
thing.
point of it, though.
Yeah, is if you want it to be a story thing, then it's going to be a wasted plus 2. But that's for the story of it. It'd be like if you wanted to play, like let's say you were playing an older character, right? You want to play an older soldier. Maybe they took a couple arrows to the knee. You're gonna have you're gonna probably
Damn, they got married multiple times.
You're gonna try to take a dump to your decks. That's just how it's gonna be. If you're gonna play an orc wizard, let's say you're playing orc wizard, they get a -2 to intelligence, but they still end up being a wizard. That just means through all adversity, they persevered and they pushed to being a wizard. Sure, that's a -2 to intelligence. Who wants that? But they still did it. Or like OG kobolds, they had a -2 to strength. You playing a fucking kobold, a swobold barbarian, more like it. You're gonna take a -2 to the strength, but it's for the story aspect. I think having the ability scores
But
be a
no
fixed...
one wants to do that.
Nobody wants to do that, but if you like story so much, you have to be willing to do stuff like that.
No, I don't. I can just make a story based off
Yes.
determine what class or what stats you want.
Well, you can't make your cake and eat it too, right? If you want,
yes,
if
I
you
can.
want,
It's an option.
But that's the thing is, it adds more story and more character to your character, right?
But another thing to keep in mind,
I don't do that kind of story.
The +2, +1 thing. There wasn't a lot of classes that added a +2 to Constitution, and Constitution doesn't get used very often. So I feel like with this, it gives Constitution a bit more lenience, because now people can build into the whole being bulky and being able to take a lot of hits if they want to be that tank of the group. So it's not just a whole thing on storytelling, but it's also to be like, if you're into it just for the combat, you are able to give yourself the ability to put points into these sections that don't get a lot of love.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a very big. It helps for the story of characters. It lets you do things that you don't normally do, like a wizard that has like a 15 strength. People are gonna go like, "Whoa, half-orc wizard, you're pretty strong." Damn, he mogged me. And it's not because like, oh, they exercise. It's because they're half orc. They're stronger than normal people because they're part orc, and orcs are really strong, and that's just how the lore is. But I understand with the new D&D, people are like, well, man, whatever. And I don't think it's a bad change. I agree with you. I don't think it's a bad change. I think it really opens up playing these races that you wouldn't normally play. But I think it also takes away from the character's story. You know, if a half orc is half orc, they're going to be stronger. They're going to be bigger. You know, you're not going to play a 4 foot tall half orc. That just maybe you can make it.
Why
make
not?
sense because in half orc lore that doesn't really make sense. Right?
What if their parent was a dwarf?
Then they're going to be
or a gnome.
Maybe they're 4 feet. Maybe they're 4 feet tall, but they're going to be like 8 feet wide if they're part dwarf, right?
Gnome orc. Just a little bobblehead guy walking around.
I physically feel like there's a reason those aren't in the lore. It's probably because they don't work out, you know? In fact, like, a lot of the half creatures in D&D just should not...
They're called Norks.
They should not work.
No more so funny. It's so stupid. I love it.
It's like dwarf.
But, like,
you guys ever hear of a dwarf?
I don't know.
You ever hear of a dwarf?
They're so bad. They're so
Dwarves
bad.
are the worst of both worlds. They're ugly, they're short, and they're weak.
Hey, dwarfs aren't ugly.
Dwarves.
Now, Tiefborn.
Half dwarf, half
dwarf.
Elf.
Sorry.
Well, hold on. Tieflings. The thing with tieflings is if you have.
It's a Tiefborn mixture of Tiefling and Dragonborn.
If you have a kid with a Tiefling, it's coming out as a Tiefling. That's just how it is.
Yeah. I mean, didn't they also say something about wanting to make a lot more half races with 1D&D?
I hope so, because those are fun.
I'm just saying, I feel like they don't necessarily make sense.
Well, it's D&D, honey.
I know, it's not supposed. I mean, like biologically, it does not make sense, right? Like, I feel like
they can make it.
You can't
make sense.
I don't think you can have like a cat-dog hybrid, but they're pretty similar.
Well, no, but like, I don't know.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think they're great races. I'm saying like if you're, I wonder if like a biologist will comment on this, who studied this kind of stuff. They're like, well, Ryan, you raise a great point, but you got ratioed. Buddy. Whoa! What happened?
The mage tribunal put me in a rope trick.
Oh my god, they didn't put me in a rope trick.
Really? They gave me goldfish.
They put me in a freak trick.
They gave me goldfish and an Allen's apple juice box.
I wish I had an Allen's apple juice box.
Why do they love torturing me so much?
Maybe I'm just
the
Mage Tribunal's favorite princess.
You started answering the emails, you know? If you answer the emails, they're going to treat you better, Evan. Answer the emails. Well, I think we've kind of yapped on for enough time. Probably got cut off at a weird point. Something weird happened in the background. You should check behind you. Look out. Anyways, thank you for joining us this week on this episode of SideQuest. We're very happy to have you back. Now, you may notice that there probably will not be any episodes of Descent into Home's End for a little while. We posted something on our community tab about that.
There's something behind that door.
And that's okay, because SideQuest will still be here, and Descent into Home's End will be back as soon as it's ready to come back. And that's how you know it's going to be cooked up hard. Cooked up like a delicious gumbo. Anyways, thank you for joining us this week on SideQuest. You can tune in next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every other Monday that precedes that, or
every other Monday in the future.
Onward is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are so happy to have you here. And as always, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.